the hidden secrets of the Book of Enoch you need to know. A journey through the mysteries of the universe, the soul, and transformation. Welcome to the Prince of Peace channel, a space dedicated to the search for truth, self-knowledge, and spiritual elevation. Today, we invite you to embark on a journey through the hidden secrets of the Book of Enoch, an ancient text that gathers teachings about the origins of the universe, celestial hierarchies, cosmic cycles, and practices to awaken your inner light. The Book of Enoch is considered by many as a manual of transformation, revealing how the mysteries of heaven connect with the evolution of the human soul. In this narrative, we will cover everything from the history and origins of this esoteric legacy to the codes and practices that inspire the elevation of consciousness. Get ready to discover a synthesis of knowledge that, by integrating the ancient with the contemporary, awakens your ability to transform both your life and the world around you. Chapter 1. The Origins and Legacy of the Book of Enoch. 1.1. Ancient Roots and Historical Context. The Book of Enoch, or 1 Enoch, has its roots in the Jewish tradition of the Second Temple period. Written originally in Semitic languages, Hebrew and Aramaic, this text was conceived as a repository of mystical revelations and spiritual teachings intended for initiation. At a time when knowledge was transmitted both orally and through secret the Book of Enoch served as a compendium, elucidating the mysteries of creation, the cosmos, and the soul. For centuries, the Enochic teachings were carefully preserved in communities that understood the transformative power of hidden knowledge. However, with the advent of the Middle Ages and the strengthening of established dogmas, many of these texts were segregated or even censored. Still, the Ethiopian tradition maintained the integrity of this work, allowing the Enochic legacy to survive the passage of time. 1.2. The transformative value of Enochic knowledge. More than just a historical narrative, the Book of Enoch presents a holistic view of existence. It reveals that cosmic events, celestial forces, and even the deepest human experiences are interconnected by universal laws that govern all of creation. Each symbol, prophecy, and teaching serves as a reminder that true transformation arises from connection to the divine essence within each of us. This legacy is therefore an invitation to the practice of self-discovery and the quest for unity between the material and the spiritual. By understanding the secrets of this book, the seeker realizes that the elevation of consciousness depends not only on accumulating information, but also on inner awakening and the integration of light and shadow. Chapter 2. The Rebellion of the Angels and the Creation of the Nephilim. 2.1. The Watchers, Angels in Search of Knowledge. The Book of Enoch places special emphasis on the story of the angels known as the Watchers, who were originally created to safeguard the order of the universe and assist humanity. However, driven by an intense desire for knowledge and ambition to push beyond the imposed limits, some of these angels chose to disobey divine order. This decision culminated in a rebellion that led them to descend to Earth, where their teachings ultimately corrupted the natural balance. To point to Nephilim, the union of the sacred and the forbidden. As a consequence of this fall, the Nephilim were born giants that symbolized the fusion between the divine and the earthly, between light and darkness. These beings, endowed with almost unimaginable strength, represent the consequences of seeking knowledge without the appropriate spiritual preparation. The union between the fallen angels and human women illustrates powerfully the duality inherent in free will, the capacity to choose light or succumb to unrestrained ambition. 2.3. Lessons about free will and inner balance. The narrative of the Watchers serves not only to explain the origin of certain anomalies in history, but also acts as a warning about the dangers of straying from the path of wisdom. The choices of these angels demonstrate that power and knowledge obtained without corresponding spiritual awareness can lead to disorder. Thus, the example of the Nephilim invites us to reflect on our own use of free will, underscoring that knowledge must always be accompanied by responsibility, ethics, and the pursuit of inner balance. Chapter 3. Celestial Hierarchies and the Multiple Planes of Existence. 3.1. Structure of the Celestial Realms. The Book of Enoch provides a detailed vision of the spiritual realms, describing a hierarchical organization of celestial beings. According to Enochic texts, heaven is composed of various levels, each inhabited by different orders of angels and entities of light. Among these are seraphim and cherubim, entities that occupy the highest planes, symbolizing the pure divine manifestation. Archangels, messengers, and spiritual warriors acting in the interface between the celestial and terrestrial worlds. Guardian angels, individual protectors who accompany and guide each soul during its earthly journey. This structure does not imply a rigid separation, but rather a dynamic network in which each level has specific functions, collaborating to maintain cosmic order. 3.2. Infernal realms, spaces of purification and facing shadows. In contrast to the celestial realms, the Book of Enoch also describes domains that may initially be associated with suffering and punishment. However, far from being merely places of torment, these spaces function as areas of purification and learning. In them, the soul confronts and integrates its shadows, becoming more capable of transcending the inherent challenges of existence. This renewed vision of hell reinforces the idea that suffering, when understood and overcome, can act as a powerful catalyst for spiritual growth. 3.3. The soul's journey through the planes of existence. According to Enochic teachings, the human soul is destined to traverse various planes of existence, journey that involves multiple reincarnations and transformative experiences. Each life cycle represents an opportunity to learn, clear energetic residues, and draw closer to a greater truth. By understanding this dynamic, the seeker begins to view life's challenges not as punishments, but as necessary lessons for spiritual ascent. Chapter 4. Cosmic Cycles, Time, and Universal Synchronicity. 4.1. The Spiritual Calendar and the Rhythms of the Universe. The Book of Enoch proposes that the universe functions as a divine clock, governed by periodic cycles that influence all aspects of existence. The movements of celestial bodies, moon phases, eclipses, and planetary alignments are presented as part of a sacred calendar that determines moments of transformation, renewal, and great spiritual significance. This perspective reinforces the idea that time is not linear, but cyclical, and that each end inevitably heralds a new beginning. 4.2. Signs of the new cycle and the prophecy of Renaissance. Within this cosmology, the end of one cycle is viewed as an opportunity for rebirth. Enoch prophesies that amid natural and social crises, humanity is being prepared for a collective awakening. This new cycle, which may be marked by intense change, has the force to unveil old paradigms and establish an era of peace, unity, and spiritual Thus, events that may initially appear catastrophic can actually be seen as invitations for realignment with universal truth. 4.3. Synchronicity, the hidden order behind events. The idea of synchronicity is another fundamental aspect of Enochic teachings. Nothing in the universe happens by chance. Every encounter, every coincidence, and every sign carries an intentional message. This perception allows the seeker to recognize that even in moments of doubt or disorientation, the universe conspires to guide their path toward truth. Synchronicity invites us to pay attention to the details of everyday life and perceive the deep connection between all things. Chapter 5. Esoteric Codes, Symbolisms, and the Language of Transformation. 5.1. The Richness of Symbols and Allegories. The Book of Enoch is steeped in a symbolic language that transcends the literal. Each image, myth, and metaphor serves as a portal to a deeper understanding of the internal processes of the soul. For instance, the descent of the Watchers can be interpreted as the manifestation of unrestrained ego, while the ascension of those who remain true to the light symbolizes the journey of purification and integration of opposites. These symbols help the seeker translate the mysteries of the universe into internal experiences, facilitating the awakening of consciousness. 5.2. Sigils, mantras, and other tools for transformation. Within the Enochic universe, various practices aim to activate energetic codes and harmonize internal vibrations with those of the cosmos. Sigils, images imbued with intentions, and mantra, sacred sounds, repeated with consciousness, are some of the recommended methods for unlocking portals of light and propelling personal transformation. When employed in rituals or meditations, these tools become instruments of healing, allowing alignment with universal energies. 5.3. The secret language of nature. Beyond traditional symbols, the natural world itself reveals a sacred language. Trees, rivers, mountains, and even the movement of celestial bodies carry frequencies that, when perceived sensitively, convey profound teachings. This integrative view reinforces the idea that all elements of creation participate in the same great flow of cosmic energy. And that self-knowledge involves learning to listen to the teachings nature offers. Chapter 6. Astro-theology and the connection with the stars. 6.1. The influence of celestial bodies on human existence. In the Book of Enoch, there is not only a discussion of spiritual realms, but also of the deep connection between celestial events and life on Earth. As presented in this context, posits that each planet, star, and constellation carries its own energy capable of influencing our emotional, physical, and spiritual states. This correlation reveals that astronomical phenomena such as eclipses, conjunctions, and the movement of constellations are actually indicators of the energetic cycles impacting human existence. 6.2. Portals of energy, Sirius, Pleiades, and other influences. Certain esoteric traditions identify specific celestial bodies, such as Sirius and the Pleiades, as significant sources of energy and knowledge. These stars and star clusters, seen as portals to higher dimensions, serve as references for spiritual renewal and integration with the cosmos. By consciously recognizing and working with these influences, seekers can find a path more aligned with universal vibrations, facilitating a quicker journey toward personal evolution. Chapter 7. Ethical implications and the search for truth. 7.1. The awakening of ethical consciousness. A central message of the Book of Enoch is the ethical spiritual responsibility that accompanies power and knowledge. The story of the Watchers and the Nephilim warns us that unrestrained ambition without the balance of wisdom and compassion can lead to ruin. Thus, spiritual evolution requires us to be aware of the consequences of our choices, both for the individual and the collective. 7.2. The union of opposites and inner integration. Enochic teachings reinforce that the duality between light and darkness is not a deadlock, but an invitation to inner integration. To reach a state of balance, one must recognize and embrace all facets of our personality, the aspects that elevate us and those that challenge us. This process of reconciling opposites not only enriches the individual journey, but also contributes to a collective awakening, where knowledge is shared with responsibility and love. 7.3. The search for truth in times of disinformation. In an era marked by fragmented information and ideological conflicts, the message of the Book of Enoch resonates as a call to authenticity and spiritual integrity. True wisdom is not confined to established dogmas, but revealed through discernment and personal experience. In the quest for truth with humility, each individual becomes an agent of transformation, illuminating not only their own path, but also contributing to the evolution of the collective. Chapter 8. Practices and techniques for elevating consciousness. 8.1. Meditations, visualizations, and the journal of the soul. Inspired by the teachings of Enoch, developing meditative practices is essential for accessing the subtle realms of consciousness. Visualization techniques, which involve imagining celestial realms or projecting the soul to higher planes, assist in purifying energetic blockages and expanding perception. Additionally, the practice of the journal of the soul, recording dreams, insights, and mystical experiences becomes a valuable tool for mapping internal evolution and recognizing the signs of awakening. 8.2. Sigils, mantras, and rituals of consecration. For those who wish to actively work with the energetic codes, the creation of sigils and the chanting of mantras are sacred practices. These elements function as bridges between the conscious and subconscious, allowing direct access to universal energy. In rituals of consecration, the purification of the body and mind, combined with the invocation of spiritual protectors, empowers the practitioner to become a living temple capable of channeling healing and illumination. 8.3. Applying teachings in daily life. The knowledge contained in the Book of Enoch is not meant to be merely contemplative, but to be applied practically in everyday life. Incorporating these teachings can mean transforming attitudes, promoting justice, cultivating compassion, and acting with integrity in all spheres of existence. By aligning thoughts, emotions, and actions with universal laws, each person becomes capable of manifesting a more harmonious and illuminated reality. Chapter 9. The mission of humanity and collective awakening. 9.1. The individual journey and collective evolution. The final message of the Book of Enoch is that each soul, no matter how singular, is part of an interconnected web that sustains all existence. By awakening to one's true essence, each individual contributes to the elevation of global consciousness, strengthening a network of light that can restore harmony to Earth. 9.2. Global signs and the call for a new era. We live in times of great challenges, environmental crises, social conflicts, and a sense of disconnection. However, these same moments serve as catalysts for spiritual rebirth. Signs of the new cycle such as celestial phenomena, extraordinary natural events, and the synchronicities that mark life indicate that a new era is approaching, where truth, love, and unity will be the fundamental pillars for humanity's renewal. Chapter 10. Synthesis of Teachings and the Invitation to Transformation. 10.1. Integrating Wisdom and Action. As we journey through the various layers of the secrets of the Book of Enoch, we perceive that hidden knowledge should not be kept in isolated spheres, but transformed into practice. True illumination occurs when we can integrate ancestral truths into our daily actions, ethical living, or simply by cultivating love and compassion in our relationships. 10.2. The Call for Awakening a New Consciousness. Now is the time to accept the invitation to awaken. The Book of Enoch teaches us that to move forward, we must break free from ego barriers and embrace the unity of all things. This transformation doesn't happen abruptly, but through constant practice and commitment to one's own each small action, each gesture of kindness, and each moment of reflection contribute to this global movement where the sacred manifests in every life. 10.3. An irresistible invitation. If this message resonates with your heart, if you feel the call to unveil ancient mysteries and live a life aligned with the energies of the universe, your next step is to join this current of light. We invite you to subscribe to the Prince of Peace channel, to like this video, and to share this message. In doing so, together we will strengthen the network that illuminates the path to a new era of awareness, love, and unity. Conclusion. The hidden secrets of the Book of Enoch reveal a compendium of teachings that transcend time and open doors to the elevation of the soul. From its historical roots and the transmission of ancestral knowledge to the complex dynamics between light and shadow, culminating in practices that harmonize the being with the universe. This legacy serves as a true manual for those wishing to transform themselves and, consequently, the world. Each chapter of this journey is an invitation for consciousness to awaken, for the mysteries of the cosmos to cease being mere stories and become an integral part of our everyday lives. By understanding the importance of the Watchers, the Nephilim celestial hierarchies, and cosmic cycles, the seeker draws closer to the essence that unites all things in a living web of energy and purpose. May this narrative be a source of inspiration and a guide for daily practice, whether in meditation, study of symbols, or in the simple act of living with ethics and love. By transforming knowledge into action, each soul contributes to the rebirth of an era where light prevails over darkness and collective consciousness becomes the cornerstone of a new society. Subscribe, like, and share this video so that this message of hope, wisdom, and transformation reaches more hearts. Remember, each step toward awakening is a victory, and together, we are the spark that illuminates the universe. May the light of the divine always be with you, guiding every decision and transforming every challenge into an opportunity for growth. We will meet again on the Prince of Peace channel, where we will continue to explore the mysteries of the universe and celebrate the greatness of the human soul. Namaste, and always follow the path of light.